All right, so here we are. This has to be a part 2 lesson. This is just a long lesson. So this turns into -1 plus or minus, look at 1 minus 12 is the square root of a -11 all over 2. And so this would be, over here, -1 plus or minus I square root of 11 all over 2. Crazy. So I got 1, 2, 3 answers. And there's no way you'd be able to do this without this whole process. It's crazy, okay? All right, last one. That 4 tells me I'm not done till I have 4 answers. So that's my little clue, good habit to get into. This is a 1. This is a 15. Now notice I didn't even say -15 because I don't really have to in this stuff because it's plus or minus 1, 3, 5, 15. There's a 1 here. And whenever you put this all over 1, remember that 2 just kind of created fractions, you know? But because that's a 1, life is good. But here we go. We got to try to plug in 1 first. So 1 to the 4th is 1. 1 squared is 1 times -2 is -2. 1 times -16 is -16. And minus 15. Way too many negatives. This negative might change things up. -1 to the 4th is 1. -1 squared is 1 times -2 is -2. -1 times 16 is plus 16. And then we get minus 15. And notice we got -17, we have positive 17. So this does equal 0. So we found one of our 4 answers. And this is going to be interesting because there's just not enough space. But we're going to put that in our chipmunk nest. And then we're going to go 1. And remember, we got it. Look for this 0x cubed. -2, -16, -15. And so drop the 1. -1 times this is -1. Add it, we get -1. This times this is 1. Add it, -1. This times this is 1. We get -15. This times this is 15. We add it, we get 0. Now listen to me very carefully. Remember, we need 3 more answers. And we haven't done one where there's a 4 here, so that's going to change things up. What does this spit out? Well, because it started as a highest power of 4, this is going to spit out, and I got to use every bit of space I have, 1x cubed, that's what this is, minus 1x squared minus x minus 15. See, that's what this is, equals 0. When this happens, now we're basically to square 1, where this was a cubed, this was a cubed. Remember, we have a list of possible rational roots, and so that's what we have to do when this is a 4. We find one, put it in the chipmunk nest, then it spits out a whole nother equation, highest power 3, and we just got to keep trying. So we tried 1, didn't work, -1, it did, so now we're going to try 3. So I'm going to try plugging in f of 3. 3 cubed is 27, 3 squared is 9, minus 3, minus 15. And this was just a stroke of luck. This is -27 plus 27, it equals 0. So I found another one. And now I have to put this in the chipmunk nest again. So that goes in the chipmunk nest, but now I'm going to use this one up here. There's a 1, a -1, a -1, and a -15. Hopefully I can squeeze it in here. 1, -1, -1, -15. Here we go. Drop the 1, multiply, add. Multiply, add. Multiply, and look at that, they cancel. So what does this equate to? Well, remember, we went from a 3 now we're going to drop down to a 2. So this is x squared plus 2x plus 5 equals 0. We try to factor it, it doesn't work. We could complete the square for kicks and giggles. In fact, let's do that. No, let's just, because this lesson's already been long. A is 1, B is 2, C is 5. We're going to go negative B plus or minus the square root of B squared minus 4AC. c all over 2a, which is 2. We're almost done. So this is 20. What's 4 minus 20? All of this goes with the other problem, so I'm going to try to be organized here. So that's negative 2 plus or minus the square root of negative 16 all over 2, which is negative 2 plus or minus, remember this, just turns into 4i all over 2, and then look at 2's go out, 2's go out, so this turns into negative 1 plus or minus 2i. Unbelievable. There's 2 answers. And here's 2 answers. How many answers did we get? 4. How many were we supposed to get? 4. So we're good. Done. All right. This was just a long lesson. Sorry, guys.